Fair enough. Age gap relationships.
Oh.
You said 15 years and more is gross. It is double standard to. Oh, that's a different. Hold on. Okay, so we'll touch on the age gap stuff. You said 10 to 15 years is pushing it. Sorry, but it gives me the ick.
Yep.
All I think
I know
about.
you guys don't like that, but it does
It's
give-
weird. You say it's weird, gives you the ick, and that it's pushing it and it's gross. So, can you make an argument? Go
Okay,
ahead.
yeah. Okay, so I know that I'm projecting because I too have been. Okay, let me start over. So
You've been in one of those relationships, haven't you?
Yes, actually, I have. I was underage dating someone that was 5 years older than me. Now looking back on it, it is gross. It does, to me, that gave the P vibe, if you know what I'm saying. But
What about the 18-year-olds and them engaging in an age gap relationship?
Okay, so it just, the way I'm looking at it is if, I'm talking about bigger age gaps, like 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, me too.
So what I'm looking at is like, okay, and I know this is wrong. Me and my husband even agrees that the way I look at this is wrong. So like if you've been with someone, let's say they're 10 years younger than you, I just look back at the fact that you were 10 years old and they were a baby. To me, I just see that as kind of gross, but that's where I was going with that.
Okay, so how come it doesn't give you incest vibes that you could be dating somebody who's the same age as your brother?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if that really relates.
Oh, well, I don't see how it doesn't. If it gives you the vibe. So what you're doing, you're saying, how could you date somebody that young? Maybe that could be your daughter. That could be, this is where you're going with this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, if that is the case, then how come it doesn't give you incest vibes to date somebody around your own age? They could be your brother. They could be, right?
Yeah, I can see that.
So I don't even understand the argument. It literally makes no sense to me. If that person, if you date a woman who's 15 years younger than you and you say, well, that's like dating your daughter. Okay, well then if you date a man who's 3 years older than you, that's like dating your brother. Does that even make sense to you?
I mean, that part doesn't, but I don't know.
No,
It could just be because
it's a completely nonsensical worldview. It makes no sense whatsoever.
And I said that. I said I was projecting.
Yeah.
So.
I'm just letting you know, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's just
Yeah, you make a
nonsensical.
valid point. I already know that I'm projecting. I already said it. It's just how I feel.
Okay. So it just gives you the ick.
Yep. Literally, it gives me
you
the ick.
Well, what if
Okay.
a woman wants that? Like, let's say an 18-year-old is trying to get with a 40-year-old, like women do sugar daddies or whatever. What if that's the situation? She's
Cougars.
pursuing him.
Is that
I still
being a
think
sugar baby
think
works?
it's gross.
Do you pursue the man in the whole sugar baby situation?
I don't know. I've never done it.
I've been approached to be a sugar baby, but they've always just like hopped in my DMs, and I'm like, you're probably fake.
Because I know, well, I'm not friends with them anymore, but back when I first was in college, I knew women would go on apps to literally look for that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that there are apps that like hold it, but
I don't think I've ever seen like an 18-year-old approach a 40-year-old and try and do that. I've always seen the opposite. Like I've always seen men approaching women in my life. So, I
So
don't
even
know.
when women are older, does that give you the ick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Well, let me give you a personal anecdote. So I'm 35. I've had multiple women who are like 19, 20, 21 slide into my DMs. Did somebody say ooh? Did you just say ooh?
Yeah, but they're like fresh out of high school, and that's like.
If you're 19, you're in college, finishing
True.
starting your.
Sophomore.
So you think it should be criminalized then?
No, but I don't know.
I said they were DMing me.
Yeah, but like why?
They're interested in him.
You don't. Well, like let's look at some like really successful older men. Like Henry Cavill, Ryan Reynolds. You don't think like 19, 20, 21-year-old women aren't attracted to these men?
About Leo, who only
Leonardo
dates
DiCaprio, yeah.
until they're 25. My fiance is 10 years older than me.
But does it still give you the ick if the woman's the initiator?
I mean, it is kind of weird. Like, why are you trying to date someone that's
So much
older?
older than-
I don't know.
Well, let me reframe. Does it give you as much of the ick?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little less, but
Yeah.
it's still a little gross, in my opinion.
Why? Why is it gross?
You're just, I don't know. I'm trying to think about it. It kind of just comes back to like when you
I
were.
got the ick.
Yeah.
It gave me the ick. And I don't like that shit because it gave me the ick, right? That's
Yeah.
what it comes down to, really, right?
Yeah,
I
mean,
wanna-
honestly, it
I
just
actually
does.
want. I actually want to tackle this from a different perspective. So, if let me just grant you all that it's icky, gross, creepy, predatory, whatever. I'll just grant it to you. Make an actual compelling argument in terms of the benefits to the man for why he should date, for example, a 35-year-old over a 25-year-old.
Well,
Make an actual compelling argument to the benefits to the man.
I mean, there's not really a benefit for the man.
Okay. I'm open to hearing from the rest of the panel. Make an actual argument.
Maybe maturity.
Yeah,
I was going to
yeah,
say they're
maturity.
probably emotionally more
Does
mature.
maturity also sometimes come with baggage and trauma and you're less good looking?
Yes.
Okay, so do you think maturity, the benefit of maturity is going to outweigh 10 years of aging
No.
in terms of a woman's beauty?
No.
But
She's
if a
more
man
fertile
wants
when
to
she's
And
be
younger.
actually, the reality is this whole trope of older women being more mature. There's plenty of young women who are mature and plenty
Of older women
old
who are
women
immature.
who are incredibly immature.
It's true.
It's not like you turn 30 and all of a sudden you're not toxic, you're not a piece of shit, you're not a pain in the ass to deal with. All this shit, it stays and it gets worse a lot of times. If you have like any sort of mental illness, that shit gets worse as you get older.
Oh, absolutely.
It's 100% true. Some of the worst women I know are old ladies, bro. They're fucking old
They're
ladies.
Karens.
Me and Andrew have encountered them on the show. God damn, bro. If me and Andrew get into a bad argument, like an argument with like a 22-year-old and we disagree or whatever, it ends at the show. Some of these older women want to have a fucking vendetta for fucking months because there was a disagreement.
For real?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a joke. Yeah.
I ain't
they'll-
joking
They
around.
hold
They're-
grudges.
They create spy dossiers. No joke. Little spy dossier. It's insane how this goes because there was an adversarial conversation.
Yeah.
So it's understood that pressing some of these issues on us or back on you guys in an adversarial way can be uncomfortable. Like, I understand that, but that doesn't mean it comes from a place of bad will or meanness or cruelty. It just means that dating in modernity is adversarial, and so the questions that are asked around it are super uncomfortable often. And having to actually think about why it is that you believe what you do is also uncomfortable sometimes.
I still have not heard a compelling reason why a man should date a 35-year-old woman over a 25-year-old woman.
I don't really know if there is a compelling reason on my end. I feel like it's what they.
So then why should they be barred from dating younger women if you can't even make a compelling argument to the contrary?
I think the only argument that there could be made is that if he actually can't have kids and the woman already has kids and he wants to share with those kids.
How common of a scenario is that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. I'm trying to figure this out. Can you repeat that to me?
Okay, so
I
let's
think
say
I understand what she's saying. So I think what she's trying to say,
It's like a
the only
fertility.
reason
Yeah.
why a 35-year-old man would pick a 35-year-old woman over a 25-year-old woman, the 35-year-old woman is more likely to have children than the 25-year-old. And if he's infertile, his only chance to have children would be through
No.
No,
adopting.
I don't think that's
No,
what she's saying,
no,
Brian.
No, no.
Oh.
I'm saying that he's infertile, and the only reason a man would even be with a woman that is older if she has kids and he couldn't have kids.
Wait, isn't that exactly what I'm? That's what I'm saying.
That's what
No, she's inferring something totally different here. Go ahead, finish the thought.
I'm just saying the only reason a man would probably be with a woman is if she has kids and he literally cannot have kids, and he loves these kids, and he'd be like, all right, I want to be with this woman.
Isn't that what I'm saying?
Okay, well then that
that
is what Brian was saying. I thought you were going somewhere totally different, but Brian was totally right. That's exactly what
I'm
he was
sorry.
W.
saying. Yeah, that is a W. Brian. L. Andrew.
W. Brian.
Because, yeah, that was W. Brian.
okay.
He takes it on that one.
Yeah, I just.
I don't really think there's a big reason, though.
Well, I think. Do you feel it's gross because the man's predatory? Is that it? It's predatory.
See, it's
Okay,
a big
he's
word.
I think that's
30.
the initial thought.
He's 31. She's 21.
I think that's a stereotype.
I
It's
don't
still just
see. I
10
think
years.
it's just like an age from like 18 to 20 that it's still kind
You
of
don't
it's
touch
still on
18
the
to
cusp
20-year-olds.
of being
What's that?
really
You don't
close.
touch 18 to 20-year-olds. They're still teenage. Like 18 to 19, that's
Well,
still
you're
a
not
teenager.
you're not a teenager if you're 20.
No, if you're 20, no, but you're still more prone to doing bad and making bad decisions than you would
So
if you're
should 18
older.
to 20-year-old women not be able to vote?
No.
I think it's all out
Wait,
the
so
window
just to
once
be
you turn
clear,
18.
they can join the military, they can buy a firearm, they can get 5 figures, 6 figures of student loan debt, they can sign legally binding contracts, and they can vote, but they can't make a determination as to having a consensual romantic and sexual relationship with a man who's a bit older than her?
I didn't say they can't. I said what I mean is more your responsibility as an older adult is to just not seek that. Because if you're like over here at like, well, because you said 31 and 21.
Sure.
10 years to me is like whatever. That's fine.
Okay,
So
30,
like the
35 and
31
20. 15 years.
Oh, sorry, I did not register that in my brain. 35 and 20.
Yeah, let's say that's it.
I mean, 15 years, that's still slightly weird to me. I don't know why you can't just find someone your own age.
That's pushing
Well,
it
I
for
mean,
me
that just
too.
kind
The
of goes
man
for
is
anyone.
motivated to date a younger woman because
Fertility.
she's
'Cause she's
fertility.
pretty.
No, it's not.
No, it's fertility.
not. It's literally she can bear his children. She has a higher chance of success of carrying a successful pregnancy.
Can a 31-year-old woman not do that?
Her chances of success decline rapidly
Yeah.
once she hits 30.
They decline, but it's not impossible.
No, they can still get pregnant, but
yeah. It's not like you're just completely poof.
well, I think perhaps the argument is, I mean, there's a biological basis for this beyond just the actual. Like, I don't think a man intellectualizes she's fertile, but because men are programmed to find fertility attractive, they will find more youthful, for example, more
For me,
youthful
I think
adult
it's
women
just that they're
attractive.
sexier.
Huh?
For me, I think it's just they think younger women are sexier. I mean, that's what I've heard from nothing but men. It's like, yeah,
I don't
well,
object
why
to
wouldn't?
that.
Why,
Yeah, they're more physically
Yeah.
attractive.
Yeah, and that's just weird to me.
It's what?
That's just kind of like I get it, but at the same time, it's weird to me.
Why is it weird?
What do you think attraction is for? Why do you think men and women are attracted to each other? What do you think the ultimate purpose of that
Well,
would
but
be?
like I'm just thinking, if you're attracted to an 18-year-old, what's to say that attraction can't then bend to a 17-year-old just because she's hot?
Yeah,
That's not
so
what
we can tackle all of that at the kind of the same time. What do you think men and women are attracted to each other for? What is the purpose from an evolutionary standpoint of them being attracted to each other? What is the purpose of that?
For procreation and pleasure.
For procreation, right?
And pleasure.
Well, it wouldn't be, I mean, it's a pleasurable act, but the purpose of the act itself would not be for pleasure, it would be for procreation, right? Isn't that the primary edict, is to reproduce? So if that is true, then why wouldn't it be true that through this kind of evolutionary model that men would be the most attracted to women who had the highest likelihood of being able to reproduce? Those women are going to be between about the ages of 18 and 26, right in that window. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
I
But
also,
then
Yeah.
why not just
So then, not only would it not be weird, wouldn't it be like almost a biological certainty, like that most men would be attracted to women who were between 18 and 26 more than any other kind of group of women?
Sure, maybe it'd be a certainty. But I mean, then why not just find that person when you are that age?
Yeah, well, I mean, but we're talking about attraction, right?
Yeah, you still find those people attractive at that age when you're the same age.
Yeah, no, I get it, but what's actually the problem
Why
if
not?
the opposite is true? So wouldn't it also make sense from an evolutionary standpoint that women would find men who are older to be attractive because they would associate this with a wider array of survivability? No?
I feel like, I mean, I don't know. I've never like dated an older man, but like you talked about the like age being too close to like a brother or something. I've dated a younger guy where I had that experience where I was like, oh, you're actually like kind of the same age as my brother. And I was just like, that's icky. Thanks. So I backed off. And like,
So if you had a twin brother, you're
That's-
basically screwed over if you date anybody your own age?
I'd date someone older. I'd date someone maybe like a year or so older. That's fine. But like, why?
So,
not
but that's like
proceed?
dating your brother because he's only a year
Significantly.
older,
No.
right? How would that not be? Couldn't you have a brother who was only a year older?
I mean, yeah, you could have a brother who's only a year older, then date 2 years older, date 3 years older, date.
Yeah, but
Younger.
but I don't understand why that's necessary. Like, why would that be something which is even necessary? If you're attracted to a guy who's 3 years older than you and you have a brother that's 3 years older than you, who gives a shit? Why would that even be problematic?
I also think that a lot of
Hang on. Let her
Oh,
answer.
sorry.
Let her answer.
sorry.
I mean, I don't know why it would be problematic, but like just for me personally, I felt like it was problematic because like, I don't know, my brother's younger and he's like 2 years younger, so it just felt weird for me to like be with someone who was the same age as my little brother. I don't know.
Okay, so I understand from your personal perspective, it gives you the ick.
Ginger donated $199.99. My husband and I just got married Wednesday and there is a 27-year age gap. We have been together for 6 years. Honestly, nothing is weird about it. Both consenting adults.
Oh, there's a meme. Oh, there's such a great meme. We got to pull
No,
it
and I
up.
agree with that. You're both consenting adults. Like, you're free to do what you want to do. But, I mean, like, yeah, me personally, I just wouldn't do it because I think it's...
Let me read.
And I think that's fine. I think that's fine, right? For you to have that feeling, but I just want to know that whether or not this is just a feeling and it's just the ick, and you actually don't have any compelling reason why people shouldn't do it, other than for you personally, it's just kind of icky.
I think for me personally, it's just kind of icky, but then also, I was thinking more of like, you guys were saying like a 10 to 15 year age gap, which I feel like is more acceptable, and like, I don't know, I was definitely thinking more like...
Like a 20-year-old and a 7-year-old?
Well, I was thinking more someone like my dad's age, yeah, who's like above 75, 65, sorry Dad, not that he's gonna see this, but and,
Okay,
like,
well,
someone
I'm
my
willing to
age.
engage with that too. Why would it actually be a problem if somebody your age was with somebody your dad's age? Why would that actually be a problem?
That would be such an issue for me.
Change
I
the
would,
split.
I wouldn't want to have a stepmom the same age as me. I'm good.
No, okay, I get that you find it icky. I'm asking though how it would
Why
actually
can't
be
you just
problematic.
marry someone your own age?
I can't. I couldn't hear you. I'm
Oh,
sorry. Go ahead.
Why can't you just marry someone your own age? I mean, again,
Because
unless
you
you
fell
just
in
wanna
love with
still
somebody who
continue-
wasn't your own age. That's why.
But is it actually love or is it just attraction?
I mean, is that even a concern of yours?
Doesn't
Sorry.
love require attraction?
Yeah. But I mean,
But
attraction
assuming
doesn't necessarily-
even that they were just boinking, they were just having sex, right? That's all that they were doing with each other. What would your objection to that even be?
Know about it. I'd prefer to just not know about it.
Yeah, I know you don't want to know about it, but what would the objection to it be?
I think honestly, I think it would be worse off if he was just seeking attraction from her than like actual love. I feel like I'd be more supportive if they were actually in love and like had like actual love for each other that I could observe in like a way similar to like, you know, kind of how like my mom and dad have love that I observe. You know, like there are things that you observe that make love evident in a relationship. I think seeing that would make me more supportive if they were actually, but yeah, the just boinking, that would bother me more.
Okay.
I got a couple questions.
Why?
Purely just because I think it's it's just icky. And I mean, like, I think that may just go back to me having like sexual assault trauma from my person who did that to me when I was.
Oh, okay. Well,
That
I'm not going to dive into the trauma, right? I
No.
just wanted to know if the answer was because it's icky.
I think just because I think it's icky, and I just don't think it's just harder. It's harder for me to view it as real and like genuine, you know?
The relationship?
Well, yeah. I mean, like I mean, unless there's like actual, like I was saying, like, you know, how mom and dads clearly show that they love each other and like their children can observe it, and that's how you're supposed to know like what a healthy relationship should or shouldn't look like. You're supposed to role model that for your kids.
So I got to ask you then on this ick factor, because I think I can grant to you that, I don't know, let's say an age gap of 20 years or more, that's pretty icky, right?
It's weird.
It's pretty icky, right?
I think it also just depends on what age people are, because like, yeah, if it was someone who was like 65 and someone who was like 20 or 19 or 18, I'd be like, yo, what are you doing with someone who is still a teenager?
Do you know what the
if you're
group is?
25
Hang
or,
on,
like, 22,
real quick.
If you're
Real
of
quick.
drinking age,
Are you aware of the group that has the largest age gap relationship is LGBTQ men? Does that hang on? Does that give you the ick?
it does, because
Does it?
It does, because I've talked to,
Private chat.
huh?
Disregard. Go ahead.
Oh, I've talked to people who are gay, and they've like explained so many like. It's mainly a fetish thing. I'm not gonna go into like all the details.
Yeah.
but,
We don't
like,
have to go into details.
It's mainly
It's a
for
bit of a
that.
taboo subject, but I just wanted to make sure that you were consistent and
I
that
think
also
it's
gives you
because
the ick.
mainly for that, it's a fetish thing, which is why it's so hard for me to believe genuine attraction. I'm just like, are you sure you don't just have a fetish for younger women?
Yeah, no, I know, I get it. I just want to make sure you're consistent.
Yeah.
That group is 5%, which is astronomical compared to any other group. You do think that that's icky, right?
Yeah, and the same goes for cougars. Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
I got a couple questions here. First off, I want to show this meme. Nick, if you could pull it up. The myth of consensual sex. So 30-year-old, I consent. The 30-year-old woman, she doesn't consent to their consensual relationship. The 30-year-old woman has to consent for them to be together. So I thought that's an interesting meme. I do think it is like it's almost a romantic warfare, because if women shame men for having this preference towards wanting to date younger women or finding younger women more attractive, it secures their ability to get a mate when they are older. But I do think it is this sort of shaming tactic. I wonder how you guys would react if, for example, men, large swaths of men said that women who were attracted to tall men, this is actually evidence of your incestuous fetishization of your fathers, because when you were young, your fathers were tall, you looked up at them. And for this precise reason, women's attraction towards tall men actually has no evolutionary basis, has nothing to do with tall men are more likely to protect you, et cetera, but actually that you have incestuous fantasies. And it's actually predatory.
And also to add on to this, if you're dating somebody of your own age or around your own age, you must be having incestuous fantasies of your own brothers, right?
Mm. But it's this whole tall thing. I mean, I think women, by and large, prefer to date tall men, or at least are attracted to tall men. You are incestuous and predatory for seeking out tall men to satisfy your perverse, incestuous fantasies. Doesn't that sound ridiculous?
I mean, yeah, when you say it like that in that instance, yeah. I mean, to me,
Date somebody your own height.
Who makes exactly the same amount of money that you do, works in the same occupational field that you do, drives the same type of car that you do, and has the same type of apartment that you have. Okay, all of these different things, essentially no two people are equally yoked, is what Brian's getting at, right? And so this is going to be the case with age, it's going to be the case with looks. No two people, there's always going to be one partner who's more attractive than the other, right? There are some rare instances where they're about the same, but not mostly. Most of the time, one of them's at least a little bit better looking than the other one, right? So there's just no such thing as really truly being equally yoked that way, right? I think you can be equally yoked spiritually, but I'm not sure that you can materially.
Now, I do have a question going back to you, Macy. You seem to...
McKenna Keith donated $200. I believe couples stay together longer if the girl is 8+ years younger than the man. My husband's 8 years older than myself, and I wouldn't even mind a little bigger age gap.
Okay. Actually, interestingly enough, one of the largest objections to age gap relationships is that 95% of them fail. Turns out that this stat is unequivocally false. That the UK did a massive study on this where they went through the Department of Statistics and they took every marriage which had ever occurred in the UK and they found no statistical deviation whatsoever between those in an age gap relationship and those not when it came to separation and divorce.
Interesting. Going to Macy, so you had a pretty strong reaction to even when I said if there were like 19, 20, 21-year-old women sliding into my DMs, I'm 35. You have strong feelings on the age gap stuff. You're 21, correct?
Yes, I am.
When did you start your OnlyFans?
I was 19.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess, I mean, do you think it's less weird for a 19-year-old to have OnlyFans than for a 19-year-old to date a 31-year-old?
I mean, you are correct on we're both consenting adults, but from a personal perspective, I think it's just weird. But that's just me personally. But
well, what about doing the OnlyFans thing at such an age where, I mean, men even much older than 31 could very well be consuming your content? I don't know if you have analytics on who your OnlyFans subscribers are. Perhaps you can share.
I think it ranges from 25-year-olds to 50-year-olds.
But so then why is it okay, for example, for a 19-year-old woman to be distributing pornographic photos to these men, but she can't have a loving monogamous relationship with an older man?
I mean, you totally can have one.
Right, but it gives you the ick.
For me, it's just a personal thing. I don't understand why.
Why what? A young woman would date an older man? Or the reverse?
It sounds, well, I think I understand where you're coming from. Let me see if I can make sure I can make sense of it. You're saying the reason it gives you the ick is because you think it's a fetishization of older men with younger women, right? Wouldn't you say that a woman who's anomalously is an anomaly and is 6'10", that most of the people who subscribe to her OnlyFans are going to be doing it out of a fetish?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that doesn't give you the ick?
It does, but I'm getting paid for it, so I don't even care.
Oh, so in this particular case, if the younger woman is with this man based on resources, isn't that like she's getting paid for it?
Yeah, and I support that.
Yeah, I support that, right?
Wait. Oh, I have a follow-up question on this. No, would you have any issue with a woman who is prostituting herself to a man, like actual prostitution? So sex for money. With she's 19, he's 35. She's getting money, right?
Yeah, that is where you kind of cross a line,
Well, it's sex work, right?
but it's illegal.
Well, assuming it's legal. Let's say this is in Nevada, where it is legal in some places. She lives in Nevada. She's not a prostitute, though.
Confirming that it is correct, and I'm not a prostitute.
It's only some. It's only some places. Let's say it's illegal in Germany, right? You're from Germany. I believe in Germany, prostitution is legal, right? Red light districts, etc. Assuming it's illegal, any objections? Or illegal, excuse me.
I guess not. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
If you're above 18, you're technically an adult, so
Yeah.
you can do whatever you want. But it's just a personal thing.
But isn't it basically what he?
Yes, but let us remember though that money cancels ick, right? Money cancels ick.
Money cancels
so
ick.
The formula is so the formula here is ick unless money, X amount of money, no more ick. Is that correct?
That's facts.
Yeah. I understand where you're coming from.
It's like the money to ick ratio. I don't know exactly what it is. It like $10,000 per disgust point? Like I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe there is no delineation point, but it does seem that X amount of money cancels X amount of ick.
Lowell Paladin says, if I give money to Brixton, is he taking advantage of me for my resources, or am I taking advantage of him for his resources?
What?
Hmm?
What does that even mean?
I don't know. He does have another chat here. Shocking that the woman who only cares about the superficial, stuck in a situationship and dating a man who won't commit to her, now cares only about what's inside a person, must only apply to women. I think this is directed at you.
Me?
Do you want to say something back to Lowell Paladins?
I mean, I just don't understand. I don't only care about things that are superficial. I feel like I've been sitting here the whole time talking about how you should look into people's trauma and see why they are the way they are. But I mean,
Wait, guys should look into a woman's trauma?
well, I mean, like not like look into it, obviously, but like you should.
Can't you just
like,
keep it like bottled away?
That sounded really bad.
Wait,
Not
what
like
you said
in
or
a-
what I said?
No, what I said, not
okay.
in like a way of like, oh yeah, therapist, let's assess your trauma. But like, if she brings up something that's like hard for her to deal with, I totally just lost my train of thought.
I know what you're about to say. You were about to say she just shouldn't bring it up.
No, that's actually not what I was gonna say.
I'm pretty sure that's what you're going to say.
No,
That's
because
my
there have
dream.
been plenty of times
That's
where
my
I
dream
haven't
in a
brought things
relationship.
up.
Just don't tell me anything.
Oh,
I'd cry.
You'd cry?
no, there are plenty of times where I've. Don't
like,
you not want to be
done that.
married?
Pretty much, yeah. Although who knows? Maybe who knows what my future holds.
Oh, you've changed. You flipped
No, I'm
on
still
that.
pretty strong on this, but you never know. Maybe Andrew
You don't want kids?
Andrew proselytizes me or something, and then I'll become an Orthodox Christian, and then.
There you go.
Or maybe I meet a nice. Wait, no, don't become a Christian or an
Well,
Orthodox
you can do whatever
Christian.
you want.
Oh boy,
I
okay,
used
let's
to
not
be-
go there. Okay, Andrew's going to debate with you for 2
Wait,
hours
is
on
Andrew
that.
an Orthodox Christian?
Andrew is a based Giga Chad Orthodox Christian.
Okay, I don't know what the rest of those first few words
That's
were.
totally fine.
But
Speaking of which, Low Paladins is back. Look into your trauma. Woman, you literally said you broke up with a dude because he tried to pry too much into your past and get you to open up.
Gotcha, bitch.
That's fire.
Wait, Old Man Marine My mom, 17, dad, 85. Does that give you the ick? Been married for almost 50 years, still have the ick. She married at 20 when he was 35, and they met when she was 18. Does it give you the ick? Show of hands if it gives you the ick. Nobody?
Well, how much money does he make?
There you
That's the
go.
real question.
That's a very good. That's true.
No, I don't care. I just feel like I don't comment on other people's relationships. Like, I'm not gonna.
We'll give you a pass for the show. You got a pass.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian.
Okay, how about this? Would you rather see a woman going from fuckboy to fuckboy to fuckboy who's her age, maybe 1 year older max, just never getting commitment? She's jaded. These guys don't commit. They're players. They're fuckboys, right? Or would you rather see her in a loving, safe, healthy, monogamous relationship, long-term relationship? She's 20. He's 33. Which do you prefer to see?
The healthy relationship.
Yeah, the healthy relationship.
Healthy relationship.
The healthy relationship.
Healthy.
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 Okay. We do have to move on from the age gap discussion.